Okay, this will be for the con assignment, systems of equations with elimination. All right, and for elimination, solving by elimination, there's two main things you can do. You can multiply or divide either equation by any number except 0, and you can add or subtract the equations to and from each other. All right, the goal is to get one variable to drop out when you add or subtract the equations from each other. All right, this is because when you have two variables, you cannot solve those variables when you only have one equation. So you want to get one equation with one variable. All right, so here we go, solving systems of equations with elimination. Okay, we have two variables and two equations. So the goal, remember, the goal is to get one variable to drop out when you add or subtract the equations. And you can see right here already, we have a negative 10x and we have a positive 10x. Okay, so if we added these equations to each other, it would just drop out. All right, let me rewrite it so you can see it a little better. We have a negative 5y minus 10x equals 45. And on this one, we have a negative 3y plus 10x equals negative 5. All right. So you see we have a negative 10x and a positive 10x. So let's just add these two equations to each other. Negative 5y plus negative 3y is negative 8y. And negative 10x plus 10x is just 0. That cancels out. That's exactly what we wanted. And then 45 minus 5 is just 40. Okay, now divide both sides by negative 8. The negative 8's cancel. And y equals 40 divided by negative 8. That's negative 5. Okay, and that goes right in the box. And what do we do with y equals negative 5? You plug it into either one. All right. I'm going to plug it into this one because it's got a negative 3, and that's less than that. It doesn't matter. Either one's just as good or bad in this case. All right, so put in a negative 5 right there in place of your y. All right, I think I'm going to have to rewrite it over here. Negative 3y plus 10x equals negative 5. Okay, and this negative 5, it goes right in there. Okay, so we have negative 3 times negative 5 plus 10x equals negative 5. Negative 3 times negative 5 is 15. Subtracting 15 from both sides. The 15's cancel. Bring down the 10x, and that equals negative 20. And dividing both sides by 10, the 10's cancel. X is going to be negative 2. Okay? So when you solve for one variable, plug it into either equation. Pick whatever one is easier. So x is negative 2, and y is negative 5. Okay, and if you really want to check your work before your answer, you can take your x and y. If you wanted to, you can take your x and y and plug it into the other equation. See if it satisfies the equation. You should get negative 5 equals negative 5 if you did it correctly. All right. Again, easy one. We have a positive 8y and negative 8y. Okay, so we can just add these equations to each other to make the 8y's drop out. So if I just add these together, negative 5x plus negative 7x is going to be negative 12x. 8y plus negative 8y is just 0. And 0 plus negative 96 is negative 96. Okay, negative 12x equals negative 96. Dividing both sides by negative 12, I'm thinking that's 8, right? The negative 12s cancel. And x equals 8. All right, that goes in right here. All right, and you take the 8, you sub it into either one. All right, I'm gonna use this one right here. Negative 5x plus 8y equals 0. And x equals 8 goes right in here. Okay, so negative 5 times 8 plus 8y equals 0. It's going to give us negative 40 plus 8y equals 0. Adding 40 to both sides, the 40s drop out. And we have 8y equals 0 plus 40. Dividing both sides by 8, the 8's drop out, and y equals 5. So you just put that in the box. 8 and 5. Okay, I think in this section, the ones that are not challenging, it's always going to drop out when you add or subtract the equations. Okay, so as you can see, we have a negative 12x and a positive 12x. If we add those two together, the x's will drop out. See, negative 12x plus 12x, that's just 0. Okay, and then we have negative 5y minus 11y is going to be negative 16y. And 40 plus 88 is going to give us 128. Okay, so we have negative 16y equals 128. Dividing both sides by negative 16. (128) divided by 16 is 8. Okay, so the negative 16s cancel. And y is going to be negative 8. All right, so you just put the negative 8 in either equation in place of y. All right, so negative 12x minus 5y equals 40. All right, and the negative 8 goes in there. I'm using this top equation. Okay, negative 12x minus 5 times negative 8 equals 40. Negative 12x plus 40 equals 40. And when you subtract 40 from both sides, it's going to cancel on both sides in this case. So negative 12x equals 0. And when you divide both sides by negative 12, we get 0. So x equals 0 and y equals negative 8. Just put them in the box. Okay, so I can't promise you on all of these that you're always going to add. Okay, maybe in some of them they're going to make you subtract. I'm not sure, but you can always add or subtract the two equations from each other. All right, and you want one variable to drop out. So I think in this section they set it up so it'll always be that one variable just drops out.